Hi and welcome to the pre-match build-up show with myself, Cecil G, and the guy next to me, this way, James B. As you can see, listen, guys, bear with us. We're in lockdown. As people are watching out from the UK, we are in lockdown, as well as myself and James are. I'm currently at home, so this is what we're doing now. This is the normal for the next, well, they say month, but you know how it goes. This might be longer, but yeah. So James, talk to me. How are you?
Yeah, good. Is that a Christmas tree behind you?
What that? Yeah. I want to get stick. Listen, people, please just let me be. So let me move. That's my Christmas tree in our household. It's kind of like tradition from the mumsy. You know, she does up the tree before the Halloween. I know that's mad, but she does it before Halloween. She gets it all up. So we have the tree and we have our Halloween decorations out. I know it's bad. People are gonna get at me for that.
When do you put the tree away? Like March or what?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe like the week after New Year. So that week.
That's quite normal. I think they say by the 6th. I think or like
that. Yeah. That week. Obviously, we just get it up. It's a decoration thing, you know. It's nice, lights.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really nice, but it's November. Like there's fireworks going off outside.
Oh please! I know.
Anyway,
I know. Forgive me, man. Listen, it's not me. It's obviously I helped my mum put it up, but it's the mumsy and that. So
cool. Brings happiness and joy. So fair enough. Yeah, no, but all good though. I mean, day one of lockdown is what it is, really. I mean, we're happy. We're fortunate we can like work from here. It's not the same. We know that, guys. We don't have our TV and the tactical pad and all that. But
yeah, sorry. Listen, everyone watching, we apologise. We haven't got the fancy, the big budget Robbie, big budget pads and TVs and that. We got me and James, and we got some graphics and stuff. But yeah,
and plenty to talk about though. That's the important thing. Lots of about, because I thought despite a week of genuine positivity, obviously that pretty routine Dundalk win, then beating United, and now we're looking ahead at 2 more home games for the international breaks, and obviously what's happened with the England call-ups. Everything should be pretty positive, and it is, but I've got a few, not negatives, but just things to query and wonder about. So yeah, lots to talk about, but no, I'm all good. How are you doing, Cess? Are you all good?
Yeah, all good. I was just obviously looking forward to today's game, Europa League. The news about we got Xhaka and Maitland-Niles in the England squad. Also, really, really good news. So, yeah, happy about that. And man.
Well, I mean, I'm happy too, mainly because I'm happy for them and because it's a great honour to play for your country, and I feel like every player should play like that. But I quite enjoyed the last few years of because obviously we've not had many players getting called up to the squad. I've actually quite enjoyed the last few years having players not being ruined by Southgate and England and everything. And a lot of people will say the last 2 years have been good for England, and there's plenty of argument for that, but it's not. I'm never that bothered about whether the Arsenal players are playing for the England squad or for their international teams or whatever. As long as they're doing the job for us, I'm happy. But I get that for them on a personal level, it's a big deal. So
it's a big achievement. It's massive for them. But yeah, there's some the comments. Just quickly, we're not gonna go. We're gonna do comments throughout the shows we normally do. But I've just saw some. Is this one? So quickly said, is there going to be a watch along still by Traw? Yep, there's still going to be a watch along. Robbie and the AFTV guys got something in store for you for that.
A very socially distanced, COVID-friendly watch along. We must.
COVID-friendly. They've got it. We've been kicked out of the studio, so as many others, but but the people there is completely COVID regulated. So yeah, that's going to still happen. The starting 11s, the fan cams. Don't worry, we still bring you the content, even if it's from my house with the Christmas tree, you know, like that.
Yours isn't from your house. Yours is just from the future. Like you're on the 22nd of December, and I'm here on the 5th of November. Like we're about to play Molde. Like what's happening with you there? Because I can't believe you got a Christmas tree up. But you know what?
All right, cool. Let's get into it because we're here for the Molde kind of build up. And like we was in the office before, obviously we locked down. We was trying to do some research. I had a look at a few bits this week, and if I'm honest, I just tried to break them down, Molde, and like what they what they're going to do to hurt us. And if I'm honest, what I really found was their only biggest problem is their striker, in my opinion. I think it's Ohi Omofagon. Yes, there's, as you can see here on the screen, the guy to the right in the blue. He is their danger player. He's scored in all the games he's played for the Europa League at the moment. He's scored, well, I think it's 2-2, and yeah, done. He's their top scorer of the Europa League, and he just seems very dangerous. He's powerful. He's tall. He's big. He seems like he can bully defenders. I think I would like Gabriel to start, but we'll get into who's going to be, who we think's going to play. But it'd be nice to see them two match up, but it probably won't be them two. But yeah, he just seems like the problem within the team. I've looked at his duels. He gets into a lot of duels, aerial and physical, just on the ground, and wins quite a lot. So I think he's quite a physical striker, a bit of a beast. Someone who, I think that's all we kind of really need to worry about. I know they're on good form, but we should really be getting a win. Also, if you guys don't know, I'm sure many of you are aware that are watching this, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's was a team he used to manage. So it'll be nice on an Arsenal level to get I'm going to call it the double. It's not really the double, but I'm going to call it the double.
Solskjaer double.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because just to apply a bit more sort of narrative, I suppose, to what you've been saying about, is it Amoy Joanfo, the striker you've been talking about?
That's it, yeah.
I mean, I'm expecting David Luiz to play today, as well as Mustafi and Kolasinac. And what you got there, 3 centre-backs, one who's just come back from injury, one who came back a week ago, but it was a 4-month injury, and then a guy who's not really played and isn't a left centre-back, which is probably where Kolasinac will play. So, Amoy Joanfo should and could really fancy himself in this game. If Molde start to cause ourselves problems, he might find himself. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe you can tell me whether he's a pacey striker, one who likes to run and carry the ball. You said he's very physical as well. I just wonder whether maybe, I know that this is a Europa League tie. I know that Molde aren't the sort of opposition we want to, in terms of level, with all due respect, that we want to be competing with. We want to be playing Champions League football, and I appreciate that. But Definitely. This is who we're facing in front of us. They've clearly got good players. They're clearly a very, very decent team. And I don't think we'll find it easy to break them down. And if they cause us problems on the counter, I think those are 3 centre-backs that I can imagine not feeling 100% confident. I don't mean in the game. I mean confident in themselves. Like, if David Luiz has just had an injury, and Mustafi, he's been injury-plagued a lot over his time at Arsenal, just come back from 4 months out. Yeah, maybe they might be a little bit nervous, but I mean, they're also experienced players, so I'm sure we'll know exactly how to deal with this sort of thing. But just thought that was worth mentioning. Yeah,
they play a 4-3-3. They're quite, like I said, he's just very physical. I think he holds up the ball well, and he can do both. I don't know how high to a level, how high of a level he can do both too, because obviously I haven't seen him come up against SK Rapid, I suppose. They're a good opposition. So yeah, we should be not fearful, but very aware of. That's their danger, man. That's all I can really.
Yeah, and let's remember, we went into the Vienna game saying, game day 1, and that was our hardest game of the group. But it's looking now like Molde might actually be better than Rapid Vienna. Now that's a really hard one to judge. I mean, Molde did beat Vienna in Sweden, in Molde. So, sorry, not Sweden. Oh, what am I talking? Anyway, did beat them at Molde in Norway, and that home advantage might have played a part, So anyway, I think
but cool. Let's take some comments because I'm getting absolute smoke in the comments.
Is it a Christmas tree?
Yeah. There you go. Cecil G, you're ready to out laughing faces. This is class. Joan Norfolk says, it's still November, big man, boss man. We've got some score predictions, so keep them coming in. So yeah, we got Ricky Tan says Arsenal 4-1. I think that. Yeah, I think that's quite accurate. Quite an accurate result that I think could actually happen today. That'd be nice to see. I'll be happy with that. We got Mr. Mitt says it's the watch along today. Everyone that's joining in now, just join into the live stream. Or if you're rewatching, just let you know there will be a watch along. It's all set up. It's all going to happen. It's still going ahead. We'll still be providing you with the content. But yeah, right now, me and James have been banished back to our homes. So yeah, banished from the castle of AFTV. We got this. Kieran Bartley says Nelson or Pepe as a cam to see how they could play there. What's your thoughts on that? It's not bad.
I
we'll
think
go with that tonight. But go on, you go.
I think we've just we've got too many other players to try at the cam before we worry about bringing our wingers in there. You know, I mean, Smith Rowe, Willock, Ceballos can play there. Willian can play there. I just think there's others who we should give a run to in that cam role before we start sacrificing what Pepe and Nelson do well, which is playing off the wing, terrorising fullbacks, exploiting space behind, all that. So it's an interesting shout. We've spoken about it, me and you, before, Cecil, on this show. Pepe's cam, people have called for it before.
I'll scream for it. Yeah, I'll scream for him. We'll get to it later, but we'll get to it later. We'll get to him later. But this one's good from Luke Hill. I like this one. Willock gonna light up tonight. Now, I've been championing him after his last performance. I want to see it more. Yeah. He was fire when he last played. I'm excited to see him. So yeah, it'll be nice to see him play today. And I think let's just do one more and we'll move on to some players. No Reece Nelson and Smith Rowe.
Yeah. So we had it confirmed maybe only an hour or two ago that Reece Nelson won't be fit. So we're going to have to improvise and slightly come up with someone else to play on our left-hand side for the starting 11s. But we'll go into that in a bit. But no Reece Nelson. I'd actually personally not. I'll have a little look now. I'd personally not heard anything about Smith Rowe not being involved. But maybe he might not be. Yeah,
agreed. I haven't really heard anything. Okay, cool. So let's. Do you know what? I just feel it's so okay. Just one more, just because I like the Christmas tree thing. Oh, it's gone. Hold on. Where is it? No, it's gone. All right, cool. We'll move on. Let's talk about. Well, we sort of have a discussion about Xhaka, and I think it's a big talking topic. Because obviously he wasn't involved last game, so.
Yeah, no. A lot of people are probably going to say, "Look, you're making too much of this." Xhaka's played almost religiously under Arteta. Like if there's actually one man he has never really experimented with dropping, it's Granit Xhaka. Yeah. And then at Old Trafford, suddenly Xhaka's on the bench, and you're thinking, okay, this is interesting. And I think, again, people say there might not be anything there. I think there's something to discuss there. And I'll explain why. And first, let's have a little look at the 11s that we had. There you go. So these are the two starting 11s from the United and Arsenal game. Obviously, there we are in white. I thought what was interesting was that we had Partey and El Neni there in the middle. The reason I thought that was interesting was, well, if you want someone who's dynamic, who can win the ball back, yes, El Neni has looked really good and is definitely someone I can see you peering around the corner. I'm going to have to find a way to make this bigger.
Okay, carry on. Sorry, I'm being distracted.
But it's interesting that he went for El Neni and Partey, who I would argue are quite like for like. Not in terms of, obviously, we know Partey is a better footballer and perhaps a little bit more effective in the final third. In fact, very much more effective. But in terms of their defensive role, both very dynamic, got a lot of legs, can get there, can basically get through a whole 90 quite easily, very tenacious, stuck in, look after the ball well. And so I was surprised that we had, two fairly similar profile midfielders. Now, in fairness, it worked brilliantly. But that's kind of why I thought a Xhaka would play, or maybe a Ceballos or someone like that. But then we broke it down in our stats review show. If you've not seen it, do go have a look at that, guys. And this is basically what we showed. We basically showed that when Harry Maguire had the ball, and often he's their sort of best ball-playing centre-back, not that I believe he's particularly great in that area anyway, but they typically do look to him to, start attacks from the back. And we were able to press with that basically four. We had Aubameyang and Willian obviously tucking in, Partey and Lacazette. It was very narrow. And the reason Partey was able to push up and join that press was because of the legs El Neni has behind him. El Neni's able to cover that space. And if Saka tucks in, or if Saka then moves back to left wing back, whatever he does, you kind of know you've still got enough men there, and you've still got enough power and pace in Gabriel, El Neni to maybe intercept and get on the front foot, Partey's quick enough to get back into position and help out as well if they beat the press. And I just thought the beauty of that is how interchangeable it is, because you could swap El Neni and Partey round, and actually the system, the press would work the exact same way. But I don't think the truth. I don't think that is true of the set of the team if you include Xhaka instead of El Neni. I just feel like, in terms of his mobility, you do not want to leave Xhaka in the middle of the park like that. You don't want to leave. I mean, you can leave numbers behind him, that's fine, but you don't want to have a really high press four, because Xhaka just simply isn't mobile enough to get around the pitch in the same way El Neni does. And that doesn't mean he's not an ultra intelligent footballer who knows where to stand, how to block space. It doesn't mean he doesn't know how to press or doesn't know how to tackle. He can do all these things, and Xhaka under Arteta has done a really good job, and you only got to look at the cup games to see how well he did. However, he does suit more of a deep block, basically reading the game and getting there quite quickly, nippy, and getting rid of the ball. He's not as good at covering great amounts of space, and we know that Old Trafford's a big pitch. And I basically think that's the reason El Neni got the call over Xhaka. Now, Ceballos he's not as bad as Xhaka in terms of mobility, but he's not El Neni either. And I think that maybe just explains why we opted for that combination in midfield. And basically, having explained all that now, I just want to raise the question to you guys in the comment section, send them over. I want to ask you, Cecil, as well.
Yeah.
Is this, without being too dramatic about it, because we know he's going to have a part to play, but is this the beginning of a move away from Xhaka being a regular in the Arsenal midfield? What do you think?
Okay, I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. I feel like the competition is so high right now in the position that they're trying to fight for, and El Neni is come on leaps and bounds in his performances. Partey, I think, come on his Partey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
It's really hard for Xhaka to get back in there. If I'm honest, and I hope as a manager, Arteta's kind of made Xhaka aware of the competition and understands, like, listen, it's gonna be a rotation sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I will definitely need to get where we want to get to in this season, maybe top 4, win the league. Win the league's optimistic, but get in the top 4, say, we're gonna need Xhaka, definitely. We're gonna need the rotation. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that is something. Yeah, I would like to know what the fans have and what. Yeah, your thoughts as well.
No, sorry to cut you off there, but especially because we're competing in the Europa League, we're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup's still got to come in January, and that's not as far away as we think. I mean, we think the last few months have flown by. When did the season kick off? The 12th of September? Here we are, 5th of November. Yeah, 11th. I mean, whatever it was. It's coming around so quickly. Before we know it, it's January. The transfer window's open again and we can buy players. The FA Cup started. We're into the knockouts of the Europa League, and we're trying to squeeze in the rest of the season for the Euro start. So it's going to be... We're going to need Xhaka. It's going to be hectic. We're going to need him. I'm just thinking that Xhaka... I think the main reason Xhaka played was because Arteta trusted him. Him to execute Arteta's instructions on the pitch and his values off the pitch. I think Jack is very good at that, and I think he's a good friend of everyone in the team, and that's why he got the captaincy in the first place under Emery, which I disagreed with, but he did get it.
Yeah.
Now I could see Arteta still seeing value in that, but starting to sway from the idea that actually you have to play Xhaka, because I think he's realizing that actually I trust El Neni now. I trust Partey. I trust Ceballos when he didn't in the first few months.
Yeah, people make careers of trust from managers. That's if you don't have to make it as a footballer. You don't have to be the best footballer. You have to be able to implement a manager's ideas and plans on the pitch on match day. The best person to do that normally, sustains their career. So yeah, I think there's
a lot of players over the years. Xhaka, I think, some people tell me he was excellent for the club. Xhaka was fine. Xhaka did okay. He was caught out for his lack of pace and mobility sometimes, but he did fine. But I think what Wenger loved about him and the players loved about him was that he was dependable in terms of fitness, and he carried out instructions and he led the team quite well.
Facts, and he had a good brain. Right, so I'm gonna take some super chats because we've got one here from Amari Makala. Thank you. I'm just gonna shout you out for that super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's gonna go through. There's a lot of Xhaka out from Jamal.
We're not trying to start that.
James, look what you've done. And do you think it's not just him? Yusef, Zaru, Xhaka out, Frosty Music. Look what you've started. Look what you've started. Look what you started. Right, I'll take one more comment quickly, and then we'll move on. Actually, I'm just gonna say it again. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. The watch along is going to happen today. Stay tuned. It's still happening. All the entertainment here with AFTV is coming. Got another super.
Cool. Yeah, go on. Yeah, no, go on. No, I want to hear this question. Go on.
Mad have Ramesh. Xhaka is still our main 11 player. El Neni needs to have a consistent set of performances to really challenge for the main 11. El Neni has to lose. Oh, it's El Neni to lose now. So basically, he's saying it's El Neni's spot to lose now, I believe. But Xhaka should be still in the main 11. Listen, I don't know what. I don't even disagree. I'm not gonna. You just said it's the start of maybe the dip or the decline of him being involved in the first team 11 regularly is what you was trying to say, I believe. And it could.
There was a time. Yeah, there was a time where he was undroppable. In Arteta, it looked like he was undroppable in Arteta's eyes. That's not the case now. We signed Partey. El Neni came back from loan. Guendouzi and Torreira, who Arteta clearly didn't trust, are out the door, and we've bolstered and improved our options there. Now, all I'm saying is, we didn't go to Old Trafford and park the bus. We went and pressed aggressively and won the ball high up the pitch and dominated and kept the ball, and we're brilliant. Now, that was the first big step I've seen in the direction of playing the sort of football I want to see us playing against every team. High press, winning the ball, dominated possession, all that, right? It's just interesting that the first iteration we really see of that since the summer, since he signed certain players, since he's had this back 3, back 4 formation that he's kind of made up. Since all that, this is the first time we've seen him go for it, if you want, in terms of style of play, be the protagonist, be on the front foot, and Xhaka didn't play. I don't think that's a complete coincidence.
Agreed. Yes, I think it worked, and you don't want to change a winning formula, especially after how we played as well. It wasn't even the way. It's not even the score that we beat United. It's the way we played, and I feel like you're right. We'll see. We're not starting no Xhaka out, so please do not pin that to us. That's not us. We're just questioning it. I'm joking. Right, I've got just one question here. It's not a question, but a comment from Choda04. I want to see Balogun start today. I'm championing that as well. I really want to see Balogun. I don't know if you guys, depends if you've been following and watching some of our videos. I just said we need a striker that runs in behind, more direct. Balogun's the guy I feel for that. It'd be great to see him start. I don't know if he'll start. I think he'll be included at some point in the game today, but if he starts, that'd be great. Right, let's go to a topic which
this is on you. This next one.
Yeah, okay. I might take the flak, but listen, I'll take over this topic and I'll talk about chess. But listen, there's no Pepe out on this though, okay? But Pepe, this is someone who started with us at Arsenal really well, really brightly. The 1920 season as well. I watched back some of his stuff again. And I was like, technical ability, his finishing was class. But since being back from the first lockdown, I'm not convinced. I feel like maybe just before a few games, like 2 games before, I wasn't really convinced that he's consistent enough for the Arsenal team. And now I generally believe, if I'm completely honest, I know this. He's a confidence player. From watching him, from how he reacts to things, he is definitely a confidence player. There's no doubt about it. When he was scoring goals, taking free kicks, banging them in, there were smiles all over his face. Now I don't get that same sort of energy, especially when he's even when he got taken off. He scored, got taken off, and when he played, he just wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't happy, and I feel like I can only really put it on Arteta, but I'm not gonna go for Arteta right now. But I just feel like I want to see more from Pepe. I expect a lot from him, especially in the Dundalk game I did, and I wasn't convinced. And I think that's a fair assessment. We looked at his stats. He didn't have the best of games. I thought Dundalk could have been the perfect opposition where he could have showed himself off and made a claim to get back into the starting 11 and be the main guy. Obviously, the goal, yeah, cool, but consistency wasn't there. So Pepe, yeah, today hopefully I want to see more. Been screaming it for a bit. Been screaming it for a few weeks now, but I just want to see a bit more. You know,
Yeah.
A lot of comments saying Pepe in. So I know people like him. Like, he's definitely got ability, but I feel I keep saying I want to see more. I'd love to see him in the attacking mid role in the 10. I really would, but I'm not.
Pepe's funny because here are some of the arguments I've heard in defense of Pepe, and I agree with a lot of these.
Go on.
Because I'm not too dissimilar to you. I'm starting to lean into the camp of I'm a little unconvinced now. Like I think I've accepted in my head we are never going to get a £72 million player out of Pepe. Right? But we might get a £35-40 million player, but we're not going to get a £72 million player out of Pepe. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We overpaid. Whatever. Doesn't matter. That doesn't mean we still have a really good player here that we can, nurture and get something out of.
Yeah.
Now, when I look at Pepe, this is where I feel sorry for him, right? I don't think we're in a system, genuinely, that helps get the best out of him. And I love Arteta. I defend him in the office all the time if anyone's asking questions of him or whatever. Like, I love the guy and I back him. And if he plays Willian over Pepe at Old Trafford, I believe there's a reason for it. So I go with it. But there's no doubt that Pepe isn't going to find his best form, especially in the Premier League, if he's not playing with the best players and he's playing week in, week out with the second string team against or the rotated team, let's say, against weaker opposition. Teams that he should supposedly be better than. He's not gonna get the right rhythm. I get that. He's not going to get the right rhythm playing once a week at home to Molde or whatever. And while I get all that, I also got to put this out there.
Go on.
If you're Nicolas Pepe and you really want to prove yourself, which I'm sure he does, like no one's ever questioned his attitude, isn't whether you've played once this season, 10 times this season, whether you're starting every week or not, if you're going into that game and you want to prove yourself, I feel like you deliver more than what he delivered against Dundalk.
Yeah.
And that was the perfect opportunity. People will say, yeah, he's playing with a weaker team, or he's, he wasn't giving it 100% because it was only Dundalk, so he was preserving himself, or he's not confident because he's been hooked off all the time. Yeah, none of that matters. I get that if Pepe doesn't play and then suddenly he's thrown in at Leicester away or United away or the North London derby and he doesn't perform, I get all that because you're saying, well, of course he didn't perform. Like he's not been playing regularly. How can you expect him to come in and suddenly do a job against a team like that? But I'm not asking a lot of him. I'm asking him to be one of our best creative outlets against Dundalk, and I didn't feel he was. I felt Reece Nelson and Joe Willock played much, much better that game.
Yep.
And that shouldn't be the case. So again, we're not it's not like we're out of content and we've been going on about the United game so long that suddenly we have to talk about negative things. It's not that.
Yeah.
But with the Xhaka thing we mentioned before, and with Pepe as well, it's just worth asking the question because Arteta seems to have found a way without both these players.
Yeah.
And I think if there's one thing that maybe is true of both of them, maybe, because they're very different players, very. But if there's one thing that's true of both of them, it's I feel like both players lack urgency.
Yeah.
I think when they've got the ball or when they're pressing to the ball or whatever, for whether it's their fault or not, I don't think they're actually able to do what needs to be done quick enough. And I think for all the mistakes Willian might make in a game, or for everything people dislike about him. I like Willian a lot. I do think he's perhaps got a more urgent pressing style, and he more urgently helps to try, offer an option to his teammates. When he has the ball, he's more urgently trying to do something with it. I've not seen enough of Willian to say it's necessarily the case. Some people say Willian's lazy as well, but I don't know. I just thought I'd put that out there. But I do think that we need to see a performance from Pepe today.
Definitely. That was a good analysis, and that was your opinion is 100% agree. I think after watching him, I feel like when I have a conflicting battle of, does he need more space to do stuff in? But when I've seen it, when he does things that are, I think, are top class, he doesn't think. It's very impulsive.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, the goal, he gets at his feet, crosses it in. When he wraps it in the top corner, he doesn't have a lot of time to do all these things. So I did see a comment. I saw his comment. I did see a comment saying that he struggles when teams play a low block formation, which I think actually doesn't really suit him. But because I feel like you have to break down more than one player, and I'm not saying he doesn't have it in his locker, but it's difficult to take on a player as a winger, and then you have someone coming straight back in when they double up on you, basically. But yeah, sorry, we're gonna push on. Got a nice little super chat again, Madiv Ramesh. Thank you again for this one. Love Pepe, but he's at an age where he can't afford to be raw. Expect a lot from him. Sadly, the price tag will always be spoken about. Now, that is, do you know what? Me as a player, I've been there. I when it comes to the price tag, I don't really talk on it much. I banter other teams when there's big price tags that they pay for them, like Maguire say. But for my team and for Arsenal, I won't talk about price tags because it has nothing to do with the player. At the end of the day, they don't decide the payment. It's normally the agent stuff, and they don't the club pay for them. So the pressure of their fee and how they play is not from them. It's from the exterior sources. So I'm not going to talk about his price tag, but I just know from a winger of his ability, I know what I expect, and I just feel like he's not delivering that. That's all. I think I'm going to leave it on Pepe for now. But hopefully today we see some of him, and he has a really good game, and hopefully he's battling to get in a starting 11 from a good performance today. Let's move on to 11s. Let's look at your well. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's do the predicted 11 first. This is this. Well, here it is. So this is the one that I made a last minute change and took Nelson out, put Lacazette back in. This is what I think we'll see. Mustafi, he needs the game time. David Luiz is just back. I think this is a good opportunity to get him fit and up and running. Kolasinac will play. And then I think he'll go for Willock and Xhaka. Xhaka, who didn't play at Old Trafford at all, didn't get a single minute. I think will play mainly because even though Ceballos didn't get a single minute either at Old Trafford, I could just see him being the kind of player you want starting against Villa, who I can imagine will defend quite deep and make it quite tricky for us. So, yeah, I've gone for Xhaka over Ceballos there. Cedric and Maitland-Niles as the wing-backs. And then gone for Pepe, Lacazette and Nketiah. I think the reason I've done this is, in terms of risking injury, I don't think there's any massive risk with Lacazette. He's not going to play for France. So he'll be with the squad for the next few weeks. He needs the confidence. He needs a few goals to get him going. And also, I believe this is the front three we saw against Rapid Vienna.
Yeah.
And he had Nketiah out on the left.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I got gunned for saying that these are going to go on the left, and then got gunned before, and then it happened. I laughed. So yeah, I believe that this could be a big option. So yeah,
I just think we've seen him do it before, and he might do it again. He might tell Nketiah to do that Aubameyang role, basically running in on goal off the flank. But we do know that Nketiah likes to be more of a poacher than that, so it'll be interesting. I also wouldn't be surprised if we saw something stronger than this. As we said, Molde have played 2-1-2 in this division. They've also in the Europa League. They've also won their last 6 in a row. He might have Ceballos in for Willock, for example, but which I think Willock should play. I think he deserves to play. But yeah, that's pretty much the 11 I'm expecting to see. it's 11 that needs minutes. You know, Willock needs minutes. Lacazette needs goals. Pepe and Nketiah need minutes. Maitland-Niles and Cedric desperately need minutes. You know, and it's a good enough team to go out and win there. So, yeah, I mean, it's easy to forget as well that Mustafi, Luiz, Xhaka, Maitland-Niles, Lacazette, Pepe all started in the FA Cup semi-final against Man City. So it's hardly a weak team. How many was that? I just listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of the starting 11 started in the FA Cup semi-final. Or the predicted starting 11, should I say?
Yeah, so that's a strong team. It's a strong team.
It is. It's not a totally rotated side. So those are my thoughts. But you've got an 11 you want to see. Do you want to go through it?
Yeah, if you could just pop it up.
Let's do it.
If you go through it. Cool. So this is my predicted 11 do you know what? It's my predicted 11 who I would like to see play in this game today. So obviously Runnison in goal. Stuck to the 4-3-3 because I feel like that's what Arteta's going for at the moment. Yeah. I think it's that, and they drop it when they're not on the ball. They drop it. Xhaka will drop in, but yeah. So Gabriel and Luiz at the back. Now the reason why I've chosen these two is because obviously Luiz is just coming back. Arteta has recently, he's been put in. So in the Rapid Vienna game, he put these two playing together in the Europa League, and I feel like his mindset might be the more they play. The more they play together, the better it will be. The more chemistry they'll get used to playing with each other. So I feel like he may go for this. Cedric, I think he's been great. I think he'll start as well, and Kolasinac as the wing backs.
I think Cedric's been great too. Sorry to cut you off, but I also great, maybe not, but I think Cedric's been good. He's been dependable. I don't think he's done anything wrong, and a lot of people have been getting on his back, but I've been quite happy with Cedric. Yeah,
exactly. Well, I'm agreeing. And then Xhaka in the DM role. Obviously, didn't play against United. Definitely I'm expecting to see him. Now, Willock, I was very happy with. So it'd be nice to see him. He's in the midfield there. I'd love to see him start. I think he deserves it. Ceballos I think he has a bit to prove because of his last performance. But I think that's where our creativity will come from. Ceballos and Willock, and then Pepe on the right, and Nketiah. Now, I might have to swap this. I think I'll probably put Nketiah on the left as you did, and then Lacazette up top, and then in the centre, because obviously we've got to come out with this news now. So that's how I think it'll be. And then Pepe on the right, obviously big game for him to prove himself. So yeah, that's my predicted 11, everyone. Take a look. Enjoy that. We'll see what happens when it comes out. It should be out fairly soon, and then it'll be covered by the guys at the studio. Just get some more. I'm going to get some comments in a second. Oh, James, actually, have you got 11 as well to show?
I do, yeah. Sure, yeah. All right, let's do my 11 quick, and then we'll do some comments off the show.
As you're getting up, yes, people, there's going to be a watch along. Again, we're taking over match day. It's Arsenal match day. You know how it goes. Unfortunately, we're not at the studio due to COVID. However, the people at the studio have got all the restrictions. They got everything in place. It's all safe. It's all been COVID cleared and tried and tested. So there is going to be people at the studio, which you'll see later on today. I'm not going to give away who's going to be there, but stay tuned. As always, AFTV take over match days, and you'll get all the information here. We're at home. James is there. I've got my tree. Other side, mad. This left-right thing is crazy. But yeah, cool. James, show us. Let's go. Line up.
Right, so I've gone for this. Forgive my annoying annotations. I thought it'd be fun, and actually, in hindsight, maybe it's just a bit annoying. Yeah, so I've gone for Runnison in goal. I've gone for Maitland-Niles, Mustafi, Luiz, Kolasinac. So I've actually dropped Cedric, even though I just told you that I thought he was looking good. I just thought... No, I'm sorry. I just thought it was time to give Maitland-Niles a chance on his stronger foot, see if he can stake a claim for that right-back position. I then went for Willock, Xhaka, and I had Smith Rowe in the middle there. We now know Smith Rowe won't play, so that's a shame. Because like you're championing Willock and Balogun, I'm championing Smith Rowe and Nelson. I'm desperate to see Smith Rowe especially get some game time. So real shame he won't be in. Swap him out for Ceballos, I think. I think that's the right thing to do. Just because I think Ceballos could do with a game where he just feels dominant again. You know, his first touch is nice. He's moving away from players. He's just doing the things we know Ceballos can do at his best, wriggling around tight situations. I think he just needs to get his confidence back a little bit doing that, because I don't think he's had a poor start to the season at all. He's just, been a bit average the last game or two. So, so both Ceballos in for Smith Rowe there. Obviously, Pepe, and I had Lacazette over in Nketiah because I wanted to see, Lacazette get a few goals and get a bit of confidence and maybe get used to playing that sort of false nine / complete forward role in a situation in which the team is probably dominating the game quite often. Although having said that, that's pretty much what happened against Man United. So Laka for me over in Nketiah. Then obviously I had Nelson like everyone else, but that's not looking possible. Who do I swap in? It probably has to be Nketiah if I'm honest. But I wouldn't even be against playing Saka just to get used to actually having a proper winger out there rather than a sort of another more of a poacher fox in the box forward. So yeah, that would be my team. Actually, that would be my team. I'd go Saka over Nelson. I wouldn't stick Nketiah out there just for the sake of it. So yeah, that's my 11. As you can see, with the lines, I basically was just trying to depict our fullbacks bombing on, Willock playing the box to box. We know he can do so well. Smith Rowe showing the sort of movement he can make, getting around Pepe and overlapping, underlapping when Pepe inevitably comes inside, but also hugs the touchline. He does a bit of everything. And I think Smith Rowe would help complement that. And then, Reece Nelson and Pepe coming inside and being dangerous and trying to feed off Lacazette. So, yeah, that was the 11 I'd like to see.
Perfect. Right. We're going to get into some comments now. So, guys, it's time to comment, get them in. I'll be reading them out. Now, I just want to say, obviously, I was going to bring up this comment here first, though. Old School Gooner said, wow, this guy and his arrows are hilarious. Now, before we get at James, let's remember, the start of our show is normally, it is always very high. But right now, again, I have to show you, we're in the yard, yeah? We're at home. We're both in the home. We haven't got the tactical pads. We normally draw out the, you know what I mean? We normally have all that. But right now we're struggling because obviously everyone in the UK are on lockdown for 4 weeks. So forgive us for that.
Now we have to be creative, but hey,
yeah, exactly. We had to make it and then basically screenshot and show you guys. So obviously, forgive us for that. We'd normally build you guys 11s as well, so you get your 11s in at this time for the pre-match build-up show. You'd send your 11s in, we'd build it, we'd talk about it, but we can't do that at the moment due to being in our yards. Again, more Christmas. Oh, Pippa money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pippa money. There's a Christmas tree already. Seriously, I know she's gonna give me so much stick for that, but listen, hey, watch yourself. Yeah, she's got to go live. She's going to be live as well, guys, later, Pippa and Charlene. So easy now, Pippa. I'll come on your show, you know what I mean? Like my tree. Listen, I'll give you a little, actually, I'll do a close-up at the end. Who else we got? What else we got here? There's quite 4-4-3 from here. James Atkins says 4-4-3. It's
another 12 players.
That's what, though, 12 players, yeah. 4-4-3 is not the one. My man can't count. That's okay. Dude, Khalif says, is Charlene in the studio? You have to find out. Just stay tuned. AFTV will see us in the studio today. That'll all be revealed. Nathan Hunt, we have this every week. I think we have this every show. Where's Robbie, bruv? Where's Robbie? Listen, Robbie's at the office. All right, that's all I can say. You'll see him, yeah, right now. It's us, This is a good one. Calvin Leachy says Pepe is not given opportunities. What's your thoughts on that? What do you think on that? Do you agree, or do you feel like do you think he gets enough opportunity to shine and do what he's supposed to do, or do you feel like he's not given enough?
Someone, it might have been you, told me a stat that he's never played 4 games in a row for Arsenal. That is slightly worrying that he's never played 4 games in a row for the club.
Yeah.
Having said that, you can't say he's not being given opportunities. He was playing a lot towards the end of last season. He played every game in that sort of big cup run, Sheffield, City, Chelsea. And I think he completed 90 minutes in most, if not, whatever. So he's playing, right? But then he's still playing every week because of the Europa League group stage now. He didn't really do a lot, if anything, against Vienna. He didn't do a lot against Dundalk. He did fine in these games, but he didn't really light the world up. He started the Carabao Cup games, that's 4 games there. And then what league games he started? Maybe he's not started any. He started against Man City, and maybe that's it. But that's not no football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel for him, but it's not nothing either. So yeah. But anyway, that's probably a good one to end on.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, we're literally running over time. Before I go, I was gonna say we're gonna big up this Carlos Cardozo, nice analyst AFTV. Come on, big up you, James. Big up. I'm gonna have to just give myself a look at
Thanks, Carl.
and I'm gonna leave on this. Ebony Gale, I love the Christmas tree. Big up yourself. It's 'tis the season to be jolly, especially during lockdown. That is the facts. Tell them, Ebony. Listen, good vibes.
Right.
Always, we're trying to be at, it's a tough time. Hope everyone's staying safe and staying well. That is it for the pre-match build-up show with myself, Cecil G, and James B. Wrong way again, mad. This way. Stay tuned with AFTV. There's plenty more to come. Stay safe. I love you all. Take care, James.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.